Welcome back. We are again talking about anxiety and then another tool that we can utilize in our daily life to hopefully decrease anxiety for us and increase our healthier behaviors that we really do love and we really do want, and of course help to increase to get us to the best version of ourselves that we want to be in life, to be where we want, where it brings us joy and happiness. And so this will be in creating a calm routine. And so really it's about slowing down, simplifying, and resetting for us. And so if you ever felt overwhelmed, scattered, or like life is just moving too fast for your nervous system, you're definitely not alone in that area. And so anxiety thrives in chaos, clutter, and unpredictability. So we're going to explore how to create a calm routine, one that soothes your system, your nervous system, anchors your day, and brings you more presence in your life. And so it's not just kids that need a routine, right? Kids really do like a routine, even if they fight against our boundaries, our healthy boundaries, of course, and our routines that they have. For a kid to succeed, they need that. That's part of their safety, where they're feeling safe in their environment. And I think that's the same for us adults as well. We really do like predictability. Of course, it's not always going to be there, so we need tools when it's not there. But we do like routines as well. And that really does help us work towards our goals so that we don't just kind of fly or flow with life and let life happen to us. We're getting it by the reins and we are telling it where we want to be and we are going there. And that's really what we want in life, right? We want that routine. And that's whether you actually go work for somebody. That's whether maybe you stay at home and tend your kids or the household, or you're an entrepreneur. In any of those areas, we still want routine. And so we're going to walk through evaluating your current routines, designing calming practices that work for you, creating consistency without pressure, simplifying the flow of your day, and learning how to reflect and reset when life gets messy, because inevitably life will get messy. So let's slow down on purpose. So what's one area of our life that we can slow down, simplify, and reset? Well, that's evaluate our current routine. So remember, in all of these videos I've done, the very first part is always going to be on awareness. Where are you right now? Where are you consciously? Where are you subconsciously? And so once we start to define that, then we can start to actually change that, because we can't change something that we're definitely not aware of or really understand why we're doing it or that we are doing it, right? So before you add something new to your routine of the day, take a moment to honestly look at what's already there. So here's some things we can ask ourselves to find out. What does a typical day feel like in my body? Rushed, heavy, frantic? What parts of my day create calm and what creates anxiety? And do I start and end the day with intention or with reactivity? So try this journal prompt. What part of my routine feels like a drain to me? And what actually feels like support? You might notice that you're checking emails first thing in bed, skipping meals, or going to bed overstimulated. These small habits can become big anxiety triggers for us over time. So the goal isn't about judgment of where we are. It's just about clarity so that we can understand and create a plan going forward for us. And so what's another area that we can start creating a calm routine for ourselves? Well, we can design a calm routine design a calm practice, and we can create consistency with that. So now that we've evaluated our day, we've become aware of our days, it's time to build in practices that invite calm. And so a calming routine should feel nourishing to you, not demanding. You should start small and you should choose one or two practices you can realistically do most days. So this is a great thing that I also give to my clients when they're trying to change some routine or some part of themselves. We always want to start small, because if you start too big over time, that can be unattainable. It could be too much. We've realized we've bitten off more than we can chew at times, I guess you could say. And so let's use one small example. You don't go on walks, but you want to start going on walks because you want to start being healthy. Well, do you go out and, walk 2 miles or try to run 2 miles, that's probably not going to get us where we want to be sustainable wise. And so what I would say is walk up and down your street and then do that for a week every day or 3 days out of the week, right? And then walk a block and then walk a block and a half or 2 blocks. Maybe 2 blocks is good, but maybe for somebody else, a block and a half would be good. And do that for a week and do that 3 to 5 times a day, right? Whichever works for you. And let's say you're up to 4 blocks and you want to work on a 5th block, but that 4 blocks is a lot because maybe you have a lot going on, or maybe you're not as healthy as you thought you were. And so I would say stick with the 4 blocks for a good month or maybe 2, and then build upon that. You're always trying to build and become better, but they are really should be small steps in order to accomplish that and keep that routine up and going. So here's some morning ideas. 3 deep breaths before checking your phone, light stretching while your coffee brews, 5-minute journaling or intention setting, sitting in silence for 2 minutes and just being. And here's some evening ideas. Dimming the lights 1 hour before bed, putting your phone away 30 minutes before you sleep, warm tea or soft music, a brain dump journal to release thoughts. So remember, consistency does build safety for us. When your nervous system knows what's coming, it doesn't have to stay on high alert. And even if you can't control everything in your day, you can begin and end with intention. And I think that's really important because our days will end up getting messy and chaotic. But if we've got a calming routine, then we're able to pull upon that and really reset ourselves in the end. And so what's another area that we can slow down, simplify, and reset for ourselves? Well, we can just simplify the day and reflect to reset. And anxiety loves complexity. I cannot say that word. And when there are too many decisions, too many tabs open in your mind, and not enough space, it can spike. And so let's simplify this for ourselves. So try these things. Create a basic rhythm for your day. 3 anchor points. You have morning open, you have midday reset, and then you have evening close. And then batch similar tasks together. So check emails twice a day, not 20 times a day. Declutter your schedule. Just because it fits doesn't mean that it serves you. And we can say no. We've learned that before, right? Saying no is an okay thing for us. Ask, does this add peace or does it add pressure? And if it's pressure, ask if it's really necessary. And when life inevitably shifts, because it will, don't abandon your common routine. Just reflect and reset. So that means, right, like if our school, like let's say we're in college, our class schedule changes, or maybe we're taking a different shift at work, or we got a different job, so our schedule is different. It doesn't mean we have to abandon what we're doing for a calm routine. It just means we get to evaluate it again and decide what part of our day and where does our calming routine fit in. And that's what we need to do. Don't abandon, just reset. End of your day, you can do these simple check-ins. What worked today? Where did I feel most anxious? What helped me feel grounded? And what do I want to try tomorrow? This isn't a course about being perfect, right? We are imperfectly perfect. Anyways, however you say that, that's what we are. We're humans. We're not meant to be perfect. It's about staying connected to what feels good and what grounds us. And so, to recap on what we went over today, we need to start by evaluating what's already part of our day, right? What helps and what hurts. And we need to choose calm practices that feel simple, gentle, and doable, of course. Build consistency, not to perform, but to feel safe. Simplify where you can. Your brain does not need more clutter. And finally, reflect and reset. Life does change, and so can your rhythm. And you don't need a perfect routine. You need a kind one. And definitely don't compare your routine to somebody else's, right? Somebody else may be able to wake up 60 minutes and do meditation before they start their day. Definitely not everybody can do that or wants to do that. So no comparison. What works for you is what works for you. So be kind to yourself. One that supports your nervous system and reminds you you're allowed to slow down. So remember, you're not behind. You're just learning to breathe again with intention. And that's really great for us to do. So now here we are. We're at the comment section. My favorite part. I would love for you to drop a comment on any part of this. Do you have some calm routines that work for you that you would love to share that maybe somebody else would think, oh, that works for me too? Or are you struggling with this and do you hope somebody else has a calm routine that works for them and maybe you can use part of that? Are you in the middle of this? Are you did you have a calm routine and now your schedule's changed and you need to reset? How is that going? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. And here is another favorite part of the video for me, where I get to talk about a journal I created. This one is on self-discovery, self-love, and self-discipline, and it all starts with you. I also have an anxiety one that I'm working on. Hopefully it'll be a few weeks now and it will be complete, and then we'll go live a few weeks after that. But for this one, self-love reminds us that we are worthy, not someday, but now. Self-discovery invites us to listen to our own voice, to reconnect with who we really are beneath all that noise. And self-discipline, well, that's the quiet commitment to keep showing up for ourselves, even when it is hard to do so. So this journal is really your space. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about tuning in, being honest, and holding space for your healing, your growth, and your truth. So take a breath, grab a pen, and let's begin this journey together.